Alright y'all, I'm gonna try to be as quiet as possible, but also to where you can still hear me because my husband is sleeping. He's taking a nap. Okay, so I wanted to do a challenge, and I wanted the challenge to help me with my TBR and the books that I have, and it's all my husband's idea. On accident, it's his idea. So basically, I was reading the first Harry Potter book, and I was ready to buy the second one. And I was talking to him, and I was like, hey honey, we should go to the bookstore so I can buy the second Harry Potter book. And he's like, what about all the other books on your shelf? And you know what, he's right. He is right. So what I want to do is I want to read 6 books that are on my physical TBR before I buy another Harry Potter book. But there's a catch to it, and the catch to it is I need to finish the book that I'm currently reading that has taken me months to read because it is so thick and it makes me kind of depressed. Loki, the main character, kind of has a lot of guilt and shame, and you can feel like his sadness. And as a person who therapist thinks I have OCD, struggles with a couple other mental health stuff, guilt is a very big problem for me, like to the point of like torment over things that I shouldn't feel guilty about. And it's like debilitating or whatever sometimes. Maybe this is gonna be exposure therapy. Maybe it's gonna be exposure therapy. I don't know. We're gonna try to get through it. I'm on page 317 out of 648 pages. So it is currently January 12th. Okay, you can't see that, whatever. It's currently January 12th, and I want to try to get through this as soon as possible so I can start with the books that are on my TBR, and I may cheat a little and read the rest of the Percy Jackson series, which I have 3 books in, and it is quite fast paced, but you know what? It still counts as a book on my TBR. If I'm still gonna count it in my physical TBR, I'm gonna count it in this challenge, okay? Because this 300 pages is already basically a book anyway, so let's get into it. Hopefully this goes well.
Okay guys, so y'all remember what I said about the book being sad? I think I'm actually going to stop reading it for now. I just need to like take a step back from it, although I want to read it so bad. I want to know what happens to the main character. I want to know what happens to the other people in his life, and I am going to Florida tomorrow. Gotta bring some books, and I'm trying to decide which ones I want to take. We'll figure out what 6 books I want to read for my little challenge, and I will be in Florida from the 14th to the 22nd, right before my surgery, because I'm having hip surgery on the 22nd. On the 24th. I feel like I've already talked about it, but I don't know. I'm getting a phone call from my husband, so I'll have to let y'all go. Hi y'all, I'm currently at my family's house in Florida, just visiting, and I haven't at all, basically. Well, actually, that's a lie. I just finished The Call of the Wild by Jack London. It is a book that my husband wanted me to read, and it's really only 88 pages long, at least in this version of it. And I just got done eating a whole bunch of whales, and well, I was supposed to go out to lunch for my grandparents, but they went to the wrong house. They went to my other grandma's house instead of my parents' house, which is 40 minutes away from each other, so it didn't work out. But what does that mean? When plans change, we stay at home and read, okay? Because I don't have a vehicle to go anywhere anyway, so I just realized I didn't have my good microphone in, but whoops, oh well. Okay, so this is the book. I'm going to be reading the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson series. It's my first book of the challenge of the 6 books that I have to read before I can buy the rest of the Harry Potter series. And it is January 19th. I started the vacation on the 14th, and the only thing I've been reading is Call of the Wild. It's only 88 pages, and it took me that long to read it, so yeah. Okay, y'all, ignore how I'm looking right now in the background and everything. Okay, it's not my place, so don't worry about all that. So this book is going well so far. I wanted to show you guys my highlights. I changed my highlighters to hopefully match the book cover a little better. These are much lighter though, but you know, it's giving the same effect. It's been a good time. I'm on page 44. Doesn't feel like it. Feels more like 20. But I guess for a normal book, it might be more like that because the words are very big on these pages. But I just wanted to give y'all some encouragement because I feel like I need some encouragement right now, like towards myself. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm feeling unworthy and I'm feeling sad and kind of depressed and guilt-ridden and all these sad feelings and everything, and I feel like that's not from God. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the Lord would not want me to be sitting here feeling down on myself when I have repented. I'm like, I know I need to focus on now. I need to focus on the future. I need to stop self-sabotaging because I know that is a lot of what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of self-sabotaging, and if you're sitting here self-sabotaging during this video, cut it. Just stop, because we are in this world for a reason. We are where we're at right now for a reason, and there is healing in store. You are being healed right now. I'm being healed right now. I believe full-heartedly that the Lord, He has helped me come such a long way in the past couple years, and I've had my ups and downs, but I know that He is here for me, and I know that things are only gonna get better from here. You know, I just have to be fervent in my prayer. I love you. God loves you. Everything's gonna be okay. Now back to reading my middle grade reader book. Isn't that right, Seth? Tell them everything's gonna be okay, huh? What's hanging from your mouth? This is a big patch that's on my leg protecting the incision, and my leg is like Oompa Loompa orange right now. You can't really see it in this lighting, but I'm looking a hot mess. And you know what? I had surgery yesterday. Hip surgery yesterday, so that doesn't matter. Tell me why I started reading. Just bending forward is just terrible. Okay, I started reading the second book in the Gentleman, I'm not gonna say that word. And I got like 70 pages in. I was highlighting, I was tabbing, I was doing all this stuff, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not really feeling this book for some reason. Like, there's no particular reason as to like why I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. So I started reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, and this is technically my first Brandon Sanderson book because my husband and I started reading Mistborn when we were on a trip together. Like, we're reading it out loud to each other while we were driving, and it was very repetitive. I didn't really like the writing. At least the first like 75 pages is how far we read. Elantris is much different. I think it's much more complex even from the get-go. He's telling you all these names, he's telling you all these cities and all this kind of stuff, and it's like a figure it out as you go, which I don't mind. I don't mind that, as long as I know I don't need to remember everything right now. And I think that's the kind of book that it is. Or a book that's like, oh well, you may not understand these names, they may be important, but you'll see why later. And that's where highlighting really comes in handy, because I was doing that in the Red Seas Under Red Skies book. But I don't know if I'm gonna read it for this challenge. I don't know, I'm just like not feeling it right now. Can't explain why. I'm just like, no, it's not really grabbing me like the first book did. But Elantris, I mean, it's fairly interesting. I'm on page 60 today. So I've been reading quite a bit today. I woke up at 5 and could not go back to sleep. So don't know what's up with that. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. And hopefully I can film some more, but my attention span is like not that good right now. I'm just, sometimes I have to reread the paragraphs because I'm on some medication and I'm like, what did I say? So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll let y'all know. I finished The Titan's Curse. I finished that yesterday. Yeah, last night I finished The Titan's Curse, finally. It took me way too long to finish that book, but I was spending time with my family and friends, so I don't mind not finishing that as quickly as I could have. That one was good. I don't have a rating for it yet. I think I'll give all the ratings at the end, but yeah, I don't have a rating for it yet. I'm not sure. So I think I know where it's gonna land, but as for right now, there is no certainty to my rating. Okay, so now that I've rambled enough, I'm going to probably watch some YouTube and maybe I'll read some more tonight. I'm just not feeling well. I'm feeling kind of sick too, and I think it's just the anesthesia messing with my throat. But I'm not sure because like my sinuses are messed up too, so let's hope I'm not getting sick on top of just having hip surgery, because that's not good. Okay, anyway, I'll see y'all in another clip at another time. so it's the next day. I've been reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I am about 100 pages in, a little over that. I would say I'm enjoying it. There's some parts of the writing where I'm like, oh, you know, that could have been written better. So I have like very minuscule things about the writing that kind of throws me off, and I'm like, that wasn't written very well. Or one of the characters continuously says the same two things after each of the sentences that he says, and it's kind of annoying to me, but it almost seems like a tick to me more than him repeating something. And if it's a tick, then, you know, I understand that's something he cannot help, but I feel like maybe it's just like him saying okay after everything, but in a different language, in the made-up language. And there's a couple different things that I feel like are not explained as well when they talk about what caused Elantris to fall, who caused it to fall. There's a couple different words in there that are made up that I'm like, I know that I'm gonna understand it as I keep reading, so I'm kind of just going with that and being like, okay, I'm gonna understand it eventually. I'll just keep these words in the back of my mind. But it can be a little frustrating at times because I'm like, I think I got the meaning, and then they use it again in a different sentence, and I'm like, oh no, I don't get it. But we're trying out here. I think this will be my second book for the challenge, and then hopefully I can read the other two, the last two in the Percy Jackson series, and then I think I'll read Howl's Moving Castle just to really end it off on a high note, I hope. I'm hoping to get this challenge done in a week or so, but I don't know exactly how that's gonna go because this book is almost 600 pages, but I've been kind of flying through it. I feel like it hasn't been super hard to read, so yeah, I will catch back up with y'all later.